Welcome to a lesson on how to determine the mean, median, and mode of a set of data. A statistic is a number that describes a set of data. The mean, median, and mode are three statistics that help describe a set of data, and they each describe different information about the set of data. The mean is the average, which we're probably most familiar with. So to determine the mean, we just add all of the numbers and then divide by the number of numbers. The median is the number in the middle when the data is ordered from least to greatest. So to find the median, we have to order the numbers from least to greatest and then determine the number that would be in the middle, meaning half the data would be above it and half the data would be below it. And if there are two numbers in the middle, we have to find the mean of the two numbers. And then lastly, the mode is the number or numbers that occur the most often. Let's go ahead and look at an example. Let's say we have a set of test scores and we want to find the mean, median, and mode. Well, to find the mean, we have to add all of these numbers up or find their sum and then divide by the number of numbers. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. So we'll divide this sum by 9. Let's go ahead and use our calculator. And the last number was 90. And we're going to take this sum and divide by 9 because there are 9 numbers that we're finding the sum of. So the average, or the mean, is approximately 85.6. Now to find the median, we first have to order the data from least to greatest. I've already done that here in red to save some time. And now that the data is in order from least to greatest, the median will be the number that's in the middle, meaning where half the values are above and half the values are below that given number. And since there's an odd number of numbers here, 88 will be the median because there are 4 numbers above 88 and 4 numbers below 88. So our median is 88. That also tells us that half of the values are above 88, or 50% of the values are above 88, and 50% of the values are below 88. And then lastly, the mode is the number or numbers that occur the most often. It's often helpful to determine the mode when the data is in order from least to greatest. There are 2 74s, 2 83s, and there's only one of all the other values. So there are 2 modes in this case, 74 and 83. Let's go ahead and consider a similar situation where we have a bunch of test scores and we want to determine the mean, median, and mode. Here we have 12 data values, so we're going to go ahead and find the sum and then divide by 12 to determine the mean. So let's go ahead and go straight to the calculator. And the last 2 values were 90 and 92. So we're going to take this sum, and because there are 12 test scores, we'll now divide by 12 to determine the mean. So now the average or mean is approximately 80.7. To find the median, we first have to put the data in order from least to greatest. I've already done that here in red. And now we need to determine the number or numbers in the middle. Well, now because we have an even number of data items, there will be 2 numbers in the middle. 83 and 88 are both in the middle because there are 5 values above those 2 numbers and there are 5 values below those 2 numbers. So if there are two middle numbers, we have to find the mean or average of these two numbers. So the median will be 83 plus 88 divided by 2. That's going to give us 85.5 for our median. So again, what that means is 50% of the class scored above 85.5 and 50% scored below 85.5. Now let's go ahead and determine the mode. Again, it's often helpful to determine the mode when it's in order from least to greatest. We have two 74s. Notice we have three 83s. And since 83 occurs more often than 74, we only have one mode this time. The mode would be 83. Now let's go back to the previous problem just for a moment. Notice here the mean and median were pretty close in value. And in this example, the difference between the mean and the median is larger. The reason the mean is so much lower is because if you look at the test scores, this test score right here is really low, and it has a very large impact on the mean, but it doesn't have as much of an impact on the median. And that's one of the reasons why it's so important to have more than one statistic to describe a set of data. The values that are really large or really small from most of the other values are sometimes called outliers, and they can have a much larger impact on the mean than they do the median. And to illustrate this, let's go ahead and take a look at an animation. Here we have a set of data, and you can see here what the mean, median, and mode are. And what you're going to see here is the effect on the mean, median, and mode if we change just one value in this set of data. We're going to start to increase this value here of -10. Notice as it increases, the median does not change, but the mean is increasing dramatically. And this just demonstrates why it's so important to have more than one statistical measure to describe a set of data. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you found this helpful.